Okay, my friends, let's do our little color slider solution of our exercise. So step number 1 would be give this section an X data with the 3 properties red, green and blue, and give each of them a default value of the string of 128. All right, let's go to our editor. And here we have our section. So like always, I will insert X data here. And like always, an object. And there we have the properties. Red with a default of 128. And also the other 2 colors, green 128 and blue 128. Okay. Let's see what is the next step. Give the 3 slider inputs, that's those guys here, and also the inputs for the decimal value, so that's those ones here, each an X model with the according color. For example, X model is red. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this here, go to the editor, and here we have the first slider. So I will insert this here. X model is red, and also here the decimal value. I will insert the same thing. All right. And then here in the slider for green, I'll do the same. I go to the range input. Just this time I use green. Let's copy this. And let's also insert in the decimal input. Okay. And now let's go to the blue slider. First the range input. And this time it is blue. And then in the decimal input also we will put the same thing. X model is blue. All right, guys. Let's see what is the next step. By the way, we can see already now that here our decimal value of 128, we have an output already. And actually, when we move the slider with our binding, we already can change the decimal value. That's great. Okay, now let's take care of the hexadecimal value now. So each of the hexadecimal input fields, we will bind the value with this expression here, and then we just have to use the correct color. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Let's go to Visual Studio Code. And then, well, let's insert what I just copied here. So we didn't have a value before, as you can see. Okay, there was just a class placeholder and the type. So now I have a value, and that is bound to this expression, which will convert my decimal value into the hexadecimal value, basically. Okay, so I'm going to the green slider and insert the same thing. Only this time I have to use the color green, and down here in the blue slider I will use the color blue. All right. Let's save and see what we get in the front end. And as you can see here, we have 80 here now, which is the hexadecimal representation of the decimal number 128. And when we move our slider now, both of them change. Okay, so 255 is FF and 0 is 0, of course. All right. Now let's create our output here. And I already prepared this expression for you. It's just a simple concatenation of background color hash, okay, colon hash. And then we have pass integer of our red, again to the hexadecimal value, to string 16, and then the same with green and blue. Okay, I'm gonna copy this whole thing here. And we go to the editor. And down here I have the result div, okay? So I go here at the beginning and paste our expression in there. All right. So maybe to make it more readable, you can do it like this. I always do that usually. Okay. Now let's save. Let's go to the front end, and as you can see here, now the color changed to gray, and this is because we have now 808080. And then, sorry, I said 0 and my computer understood Siri. That's funny. And now when I move my slider, okay, I can change the color. But as you can see, we have this problem when we go down here to 1-digit hexadecimal value, then it doesn't work anymore. Okay, we get an error here. And this we will fix, but to fix this, we will need a function. So we will need to process this hexadecimal value here that has only 1 digit. In this case, we have to glue a 0 to this hexadecimal value, and we can do this only with a function. And I didn't show you how to do a function yet, but now anyway we are finished with our little examples, and we will start another theoretical chapter in this course, and the first lecture in the next theoretical chapter will be about how to use functions in Alpine.js. I look very much forward to teach you this, and I hope you had some fun with the exercises, and see you there, guys.